Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special episode of the JH Show with our guest, Rob Roman.
Hi.
We are hanging out in Miami. I figured that we'd do a quick, short episode. It's really cool to be here with you, Rob, and I today got to walk around and just kind of explore this whole section of Miami and just be in Miami for the first time, which is just surreal because it's like unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's a new city to me, but it's kind of home to you in a sense that you're more familiar with it.
It's wild because there's a lot of things. We're in Florida.
Yeah.
That's a given. When they think Miami, everyone's thinking that's some exotic place that you need a passport for. No, it's still in Florida.
Yeah.
So you still have Florida man. But there's still lots about Florida that's like a give and take to a lot of people. It's just like hurricane season's a thing and the rains happen. Yeah. Sometimes it's not just wonderful weather all the time, but spring break happens and all these tourists happen. So when you come here, it's kind of like if you were to come here, there's a reason for it. And luckily, the rain bypassed and the rest of this week is just nothing but sunshine, 82 degrees, lows of 66. It's bound to be a wonderful week.
It's going to be a good week. I looked at the weather before flying out and was like, yes, oh my God, it's going to be perfect. Landed here this morning, early this morning. When I watched the sunrise on the beach, it was just, I don't even know how to describe it for the first time. Yeah, it's so weird because it's, I've seen sunrises, and I've seen them on the West Coast, California shore. I noticed even the sand is different here. The sand is thicker. It's a thicker grain than the sand in California. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the climate, but I was like, this is thicker. It was just things like that was like really cool to have a first time experience.
The sand doesn't burn here. It's white sand. So you could step on it, and even in the hottest of suns, it might be a little warm sometimes, but not burned.
That's really cool. Maybe you know this. I was going to ask them. They have tractors pulling the sifters for the sand. They have like 4 or 5 of them running down the beach. Do they run those all day?
No. I think they usually get them in the mornings, especially on a busy time. So they may prepare it for the weekend, or I don't think that they prepare them all the time, but they will just hit them in the morning and enjoy the rest of the day. But then I think they'll also pick up the fact that the rising tides, when you have like low tide and it goes out and then the tide comes back in, it kind of shifts the sand a bit. So they want to make sure that's nice and even, so there's no collections everywhere.
They set a pretty good berm actually along that whole shoreline with their tractors. They do a good job. I was actually impressed with just how well maintained it is compared to a beach like California, because I've been up and down California's coast. They don't really have that. They do on Huntington and a couple other beaches, but it's like a 4-wheeler pulling one of those sifters. It's not a full tractor.
Right.
So that makes a big difference. I think just maintaining the.
I mean, you're also paying to be here. I think just for you being here for a day, you're kind of soaking in the fact that with the price of everything, there's also you're paying for the environment that you're in. And when we got in here and we were talking about how they have the setup of the seats and the umbrellas and certain resorts have them in sections. I would want to believe, and I promise you, if you were to look at their resort photos on the website, everything about it is perfect. The weather has a different, the water has a different color. The sand has a different color. It is groomed well. Yeah. So it's meant to add to this fantasy that Miami Beach is this amazing thing, which it is, but they take pride in that. And I think that's the reason why they have them out there so often, is like they want to make sure that everything, even we walked over to the Fontainebleau and you saw all of the chairs and the pools, and no one was out there, but you could see it as in like, I could see everybody out there and they're partying and having a good time.
The layout's really cool. Well, they just do a good job at being professional as they can be in that setting of setting it up and making it look correct. That's impressed me. Just being here today, and we got 2 more days of this, which is going to be crazy. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what we're going to do?
Well, ultimately, pun intended. Now just kind of, ultimately, that's what we'll say. Ultimately. Originally, it was kind of circulating around the festival of the Ultra Music Festival.
Miami, yeah.
Ultra Miami is in Bayfront Park down in Miami Beach, and they host like all of the DJs, all of the up and comers, all of the nightlife, all of the everybody, and that's also the A&R people, the promotional people, the record labels, their CEOs, their managers, and they find ways to just go there because that sets the tone for the year.
Yeah,
that festival. So I find it so awesome. This is the 36th year that the Winter Music Conference has been going on, that they legit just say, hey, everybody's going to be in town for this. All the big headliners, let's get them together. We'll do some panels. We'll do some added networking. And then also bring in a bunch of people that are kind of in the middle. Not like early on starting, but people that are starting to grow and get their foot planted and spread the seeds and stuff. And get them the showcase and the events and the parties, and bring in a bunch of other people to pre-party before the big party is happening. So that's technically what we are both going to be doing, is networking during the day, partying throughout the night. Not because we're party animals, not because we go to college or whatever, but like it's part of what you're supposed to do. Like that. There's a trust factor in that. Outside of the networking, that's just you talking and being on common ground. But there's a sense of trust and a sense of value, that you value the entertainment business as much as the person that you're trying to get to know when you go to these party events. And later on, those tend to turn into afters, and that turns into other events that we get together with and do more collaborative things. But unfortunately, it does eat up pretty much all of your time in those 2 days. So it's fascinating that, because when we were even talking about it, it was so difficult to explain to you and all the other people at home what was actually happening during the conference.
Yeah.
And literally last night, I sent this guy an 82-page digital brochure of everything that's going on this week. This weekend. And just thinking about it and kind of letting it soak in, it's hard to take in because you've seen these people on the internet, you've seen these people on TV.
And then you get the chance to just, hey, how are you? Right here. It's just surreal.
We literally ran into Don Diablo at CVS. That was the first thing that we did. We went there and he was buying some Vita Coco water, and it was awesome. I was like, dude, I love you. I didn't mean to say that, but I love you.
But it's well, you had mentioned it before I even came out here, because we had called just beforehand talking about like what to expect and whatnot, and you were like, just be prepared to be around a lot of famous people like it's normal. And I was like, well, okay, I didn't know what you meant by that, but now I get it. Now I'm like, oh, okay.
There's gonna be a term that you're gonna listen to this weekend called the elevator pitch. And what it basically is you walk into an elevator, someone else walks in, and the amount of time it takes for you to get to a floor, you have to convince them of the thing that you do and the confidence that you exude. What is that? 20 seconds?
Yeah.
So not saying no pressure, but you do have to sit and go, in 20 seconds, how would you be able to explain everything that you do to somebody to gain their interest to want to see more of what you do?
Yeah. And that's something you got to work on over years. That's not something that you just throw together overnight.
Well, you come to these conventions, you go to these conferences so you can learn how to do it and then get a little bit better. I mean, obviously, you kind of have to grow into it. And, there's a sense of confidence that goes with it. But ultimately, that's it. You start with your elevator pitch, and then if they like you, then you'll have the rest of the week to get to know them and the things that they've got going on. Funny enough, we've been talking about Lauren Padman, who was the CEO of Dim Mak Records, with Laidback Luke as one of his clients. Steve Aoki would work with him a lot. 2 days ago, he announced that he stepped away from that role, which is shocking. Because how do you just say, after 30 years of Dim Mak, goodbye, I'm going to go do something. But he's doing something on his own because he knows he has enough confidence and enough skill, know-how to kind of get into that. So that alone, that announcement should spark your confidence to approach him and say, tell me more about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm interested in what I want to be able to help you succeed.
Well, and it's like you were saying, it's not so much going into it with all the excitement of here's what I have, because a lot of people don't care. They want, because it's vice versa. They want to show you what they have. You should be considerate and listen to what they have, as well as, it's a conversation. You make the conversation. And if the conversation goes well, just like you were talking about with the elevator pitch, success.
I'm a little cheekier than that, where it's like I feed into the energies of the people that I like, and I will continue to like fanboy over them so hard to the point where it makes them feel uncomfortable when they're on stage. But at the same time, that at least gives them added support on stage, and me just be like, sign my butt, I got a pen right here, let's go. But I want them to understand how much I like their product.
Right.
That at some point in time, they're going to say, wait a minute, we've seen this guy before. What is he doing? And then you go on Instagram and go, oh my God, he's doing all this stuff. I'm going to feed into what he's doing.
Instagram is the thing for these events. I've noticed it. There were a lot of old heads at this, the first day of the Winter Music Conference. And all the old heads use is Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's all they'll use. Mm-hmm. And I have no problem with it because I use it. It's a tool. But a lot of the conversation, and we kind of had talked about it on our walk, was like, it becomes just you're a slave to it. If you become a slave to it, then it becomes just annoying to even, all right, let me use Instagram. You know what I mean?
I have learned the reason why they're doing Instagram, and it is shocking because most of the time when you're trying to sell yourself in an elevator pitch, along with that, you're adding your references. You add in the people that that you think that person may know. And depending on if they're cool with them, then you're going to be like, oh, well, this will be my ins. Yeah. Instagram helps with that because Instagram will show somebody who you are also friends with.
Mm-hmm. Also followed by,
and also followed by. And that's how those moves get moved forward, especially in the industry today. Mm-hmm. When you're going to go do like a club or a bar, it's never, they always check the Instagram first because they will always know the people that they like and the people that those people that they like you in turn.
Right.
And then they'll feed into the content that you create. And that's what's so funny about this industry, because you would think that, you have to be cool, you have to look cool, you have to do a part, you have to make cool music, or you have to be an entity. Remember when DJs with the heads, you had like Marshmallow,
Dead Mouse. Without Dead Mouse, there would be no me. So
Well, you don't. Well, you have a mask, but you're not a head. But there was a mystery to that, and everyone would always kind of seek out the mystery on all of that. And when that happens, comes added growth of mystery. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you have to have a gimmick, but that gimmick does lead into better successes because people are more interested in what you've got going on. Don Diablo, again, like he had white hair. Mm-hmm. He's got a chiseled jaw, and he usually has these little diodes on his thing. Mm-hmm. He doesn't play cybernetic music; he just makes tech house. Yeah. But
it's the look. The look.
It's the look. It draws into it, and again with Instagram, it does help with all those added everythings.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because there's a lot of. It's interesting, the spectrum that I've just noticed while being there day one at this Winter Music Conference is the spectrum between the old heads and the young, like very young talent that are trying to make it or get involved in this. Because I'm 27, so I'm kind of in the middle. The old heads are like 40 and up, and they're still hanging out. I mean, I was talking to three of these, I can't think of their names right now, but these three go every year. They've gone for since the 90s. They've been there since the 90s. I'm sure you'd recognize them because they go every year. They don't miss it. And but they're part of labels and whatever else. But they have their taste in music, and they're looking for their taste in music. And then you bring all the younger guys in that are just, you can see it. You can just see it. They're just jittery. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to interact with the old heads and the OGs and the people that are part of labels. Is they don't know how to interact. But the cool thing is this gives them that opportunity. The Winter Music Conference is such a just open event where it's like, let's go sit in a pool and I'll come talk to you. And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, what's your Instagram? You know, I can't tell you how many times today we were passing phones around, following each other. You know, that's a really cool thing. But it's just part of the cycle of it. You know, the growth cycle of the community. So kind of cool to see that spectrum from the old heads to the young, fresh talent.
The old heads, in my opinion, and it's something they're going to have to get over because we were talking about this earlier, is just the ever growing popularity of the bedroom DJ.
Yeah,
and you've got some younger people that not only want to feed into popular genres, especially within the EDM genre bracket, but they're also trying to imitate each other based on looks and the way things go.
100%.
I'm not saying because of your mustache, but they've had thicker mustaches, you know?
Yeah, dude,
everyone has a mustache.
Yeah.
Everyone is wearing black shirt, white beater with a gold chain, or sweatpants.
Dom Dalla. You know what I mean?
Backwards hat, trying to be cool. And so the old heads are like, they're like, okay, all these kids are thronged together, and there's a whole mass of them. Let's give it 5 years and see how many of them kind of dip away because it's either they're competing against themselves or they're not. There's just no mystery to it,
right?
Depending on the type of music. And tech house is also the killer right now too because everybody wants to play tech house because it's so popular, and that's kind of what's killing the genre right now. It's fun to listen to.
There's a lot of oversaturation in many different categories of music, not just tech house. I think that there's one that I think is coming up, and I think needs a well-deserved come up, is drum and bass. Drum and bass right now is starting to just blow up all over the U.S., and I love it because I've just recently got into drum and bass, and it's so vast. There's so much drum and bass, from like melodic stuff to extremely heavy stuff and everything in between, which is really cool. And I'm glad there's not so much a resurgence because it's been around for a while, but it's starting to blow up, which is really cool.
You know what I hate about popular drum and bass right now? You want to know? Most of the popular drum and bass right now are at 174.
Yeah.
And they're all the same key.
Yeah.
And that's what's killing it right now, is because everybody's making the same, not the same beat, but I mean, it's still your same format, but it's within the same BPM and the same key. Could you do a little better?
A little variation helps.
Yeah.
Well, and that was one thing we kind of had talked about too, was the, like, not so much oversaturation, but everyone's a copy paste. Everyone's trying to copy paste, kind of like you were saying. The chain and the black wife beater, and it's just the look of, oh yeah, I'm a DJ. Like, great, all right.
I'm starting to learn a little bit about that because I am starting to make my own music now.
Yeah. And
the YouTubes, I don't know about your process about how you make your music. I think you make it with instruments too.
Yeah.
But like the instruction videos that I see on YouTube, the "What Up, It's Your Boy," back again with another something. What they're doing isn't wrong. No. It's correct, but there are far too many tools in the DAWs that you can legit say, I'm going to take this vocal sample and then put it in, warp it, bend it, twist it, pull it, grab it, whatever, bop it.
Bop it. It's a great song.
Check there you go. Yeah. And that's the thing, is like they will forever take that lick and then reinvent it.
Yeah.
There's several things that are wrong with that. Number one, someone's bound to recognize it from another song previously, which has happened
millions of times.
But people are still using that those tools without originality, because they're just like Kashmir is rocking the sample market right now. Yeah. I think he put out his 8th volume of samples recently. He's like, this is the best pack ever. The best pack yet. You should buy it.
Everyone uses it.
And everyone uses it. It sounds great. That's the problem, is that Kashmir as an artist is a really good artist, but when he puts out his sample packs, everyone's going to eat it up and make something with those sounds. Yeah. There are artists out there that say you can take those sounds and warp them and manipulate them, make them more original. That way you're not just feeding into that, but it's so much easier that you can just do that. So that is the reality of it right now, is that, again,
samples.
You got the, and again, I'm not here to kill the mood. I'm just here to just spit facts. Yeah. And you're going to see a lot more of it when they start showing up for Ultra. They're looking the same part. They got the same part of hair. They all look like frat boys. They and then they're all broing out. They're all bedroom DJs, and they're also eating into the fact that it is just as simple as they say it is on the internet. And they make a tune, and like wowie zowie, you're great, but it only lasts for a small. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
It lasts for a small while. You have to give them their 8 months, because after the 8 months, maybe they're bored with it. Maybe they get burnout.
Burnout.
And
burnout's a huge problem.
That's the difficulty of the conference here too. Is like you're inviting all these new people, and they're coming in, and they're just like, I'm the latest. I'm the new Avicii. I'm the new whatever. And I'm the new Dom Dalla. I'm the new whatever. And that's all great, grand, and good. But ultimately, they want repetition from you all the time.
All the time. Consistency.
Guess where that leads to? Instagram.
Yeah.
They're looking on your Instagram. They want to see you doing more work. They want to see more videos. They want your interaction. They want interaction from you too. And they don't teach you this.
No.
Not from the conference. You go there and you learn and you listen and you don't judge. But at the same time, like, you will never 100% get it that first year. You'll get introduced with the networking, and that's where your brand will grow stronger, is because if you do, I'm not saying, save your money for next year. We haven't even finished this year. But all of those networkings need to continue to thrive and happen and grow. Yeah,
and over time. That's what it takes. That is what it takes in this industry. And I myself was guilty of it when I got started. I was telling you, I had the door slammed in my face. They were like, yeah, you know how to use the equipment. That's great. But do you know how to move an audience? Do you know how to tell a story using this equipment? No. Work on your art. Do you come back in 5 years when you're experienced enough to understand what having an empty dance floor feels like, what it actually feels like to draw the crowd into the floor and have the crowd locked in on everything. That's what it takes. Over years, you can't just show up and do it, because I tried. I tried that. It's a lot of work. So yes, they are looking for that consistency over time. So, well, Rob, this has been a fun little short podcast.
I'm sure there's going to be many more, because I like to talk, and I'm very vocal about these types of things, and it's fun to learn about it, and it's fun to adapt to it and continue that process. Even for myself, like, I'm not 100% like, oh, Mr. Cocky, RobRomansVoice, but I know a thing or two, and I'm humble about it, and I think it's good to get yourself in check. Like, the actual reality of it is great. You have to keep living into that. But if there's one thing that I'm learning without going too far into it, is like, there is a dream aspect, and you want to hit that dream, but you ain't going to hit that dream after one dream. Like, you have to keep dreaming.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the JH Show with special guest RobRomansVoice. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Yeah.